Hello everyone, I'm back again with the third game of this random versus random series that I played versus Nero, and this is on Habitation Station, as you can see. Gonna start up this replay right now. So in the top left, it's me, this time spawning as Terran, so I got all three races, and this time we have Nero up in the right as Zerg, so it's another TVC. But this time I'm Terran, so I'm gonna put it up that Terran is my strongest. So I was pretty confident I was gonna win this game, but we'll see what happened. Um, yeah, so the last game was really interesting, and starting out, I'm gonna actually put on the production tab, and we'll see what kinds of builds we're going for here. I mean, nothing out of the ordinary so far. I mean, it's not really a whole lot that happens this part in the game. Getting my racks, getting my refinery there. Yeah. So that last game was really nerve-wracking. It was a really close game as well. So we'll see what happens this time. Looks like he's going for the 1717 hatch gas pool. Really standard. Really good build as well. No, he's actually not. He's going for hatch pool gas, I suspect. Okay, so this is kind of different, but not really. I mean, is he actually gonna go gasless? No, he's not. He's actually getting the gas. So no gasless from him. A bit of a different build, but pretty much the same. I mean, I prefer the gas earlier so you can actually get circling speed as quick as possible. Because it does help against that first Reaper and whatnot. So I should plant my expansion right about now. There we go. I decided to plant it on the high ground because I really don't know what kind of Zerg style he plays. I find it really hard to defend this first expansion versus pool first opening. That's just me. A lot of people say if you micro your Reaper correctly, you shouldn't lose to it, which is probably correct, probably true, but yeah, whatever. Just getting on the high ground to be safe. I'm gonna put down my second racks, which means I'm doing a 2-on-1 build. The build I usually do versus Zerg. So I'm sending my Reaper across the map here to do some damage. He has started up his queens, so shouldn't be able to do too much. This is actually a smart move by him. He goes out here to intercept my Reaper. So this is a little micro battle here. Yeah, so I'm getting these links at least. I was like, yeah, that's good enough for me. I don't actually want to micro my Reaper too much. I'd much rather focus on my build at home, which is what I'm doing. I'm getting my orbital, getting my tech labs. I can start stim as soon as possible. I'm also getting my factory, so I can get that starport and those medivacs. He is actually, this is pretty interesting. He opted to go for the gold here, which is an interesting strategy. A lot of Strike players wouldn't do this because, well, if you like siege a liberator like right here, these mineral patches, it's really hard to get rid of. I don't. A queen, yeah, queen should reach it. Shouldn't actually be a problem, but it is sort of an awkward position. The queen has to sort of go around and it delays it a lot. So, but it's a gold base, and Zerg do benefit a lot from gold bases. So I don't blame him for the decision. It's not a bad one. I'm keeping my Reaper down here because I would think that he's gonna expand down here, like most Zerg players do, but he doesn't actually do it. Starting up my wall, I've landed my CC on the low ground, and yeah, so this is actually a pretty good, some good advice for you Terran players. Like, if you build your CSC on the low ground, as soon as you float it down, you can actually, because you're gonna have some extra SCVs, so the extra SCVs that you transfer can actually just immediately start working on this wall, and it will give you enough supply to. Yes, I saw these circlings, and that's why I decided to immediately throw these down to finish this wall, because I didn't want any uninvited guests into my base, if you understand what I mean. Yeah, so I've actually started up my medivacs right now, and I'm gonna drop the marines as soon as that's done. Behind this, he has not got he actually got a bailing nest, so that's good. He has decided not to go for any extra queens, which you kind of need versus the 16 stem marine drop. So we'll see if he can hold. So my Reaper's coming back and getting surrounded and killed, which is really bad by me. That's a mistake I shouldn't make. We can see here actually that it looks like he does want to go for some sort of baneling bust. Uh, uh, Pro tip of the day: 4 banelings is actually not enough to bust down a supply depot. I think you need 5 or 6. Not sure. I'm not a Zerg player. Okay. So we see my drops. My dropships are now moving out. So usually I drop down here and then I'm like stim and run down here, but I decided to just drop them in here because he had nothing. So whatever. Stimming, running back. I'm getting all of these drones, which is super nice for me. And he still has some links down here. Like these links are gonna run up. They're gonna do nothing. They didn't even bruise my marines. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna take out this base because I don't know how much he has. So I'm gonna talk about this. I'd rather take this, like, because I don't know. Maybe he has like 40 links just waiting for me. I could just kill the drones here and then quickly run in here and see if I could actually end the game. But I chose to snipe this base because it gives me enough of an advantage to be comfortable, basically. So I don't really have to be worried anymore. Well, worried, but it gives me an advantage. I'd much rather take the advantage than risk getting behind to just to potentially win the game. And I don't really know what he has. You should never assume that your opponent is bad, right? So I could have assumed, like, back in my mind, I was like, yeah, he probably doesn't have enough, and I can probably just run up here and win. But I was like, yeah, I shouldn't underestimate my opponent. What if he has enough? Then my marines die, or at least I'm forced to leave, and I didn't snipe this base. So sometimes it's better to take what you can, and then go from there. So that's what I'm doing, killing that base. Gonna run down here. Actually, I was gonna start my expansion. I sort of forgot it. My expansion should be started by now. Sniping these overlords, being annoying. So he's trying to get us around here. That's really not working. That wasn't even close. Yeah, and those banelings do nothing. So, yeah. This is sort of like a meta build that is really in the meta right now. 16 stim marine drop, and if you don't know what you're supposed to do as a Zerg, it can be really hard. If you're having trouble with it as a Zerg player, what I would suggest is this drop usually arrives at 5:30, maybe a bit earlier if you're good. Mine is usually delayed for some reason, so about 5 minutes. Make sure you have enough links, like 40. Some banelings are good, and some extra queens. The extra queens are actually vital to holding this. Like, have at least 5 or 6 queens when you're holding this, and pull the queen from your main base down to whatever your third base or whatever, and try to defend that way. It's a really hard build to hold a Zerg, but yeah, he didn't really know what to do. So that's the end of the series. I hope you enjoyed it. Ended 2-1 for me, but it was really some really interesting game. This game might not have been that interesting. It was a good lesson for all you Zerg players though on how not to do versus the 2-on-1. But yeah, that's basically it. Hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you some other time. Bye.